was counting the weeks until her return to California. Her spokeswoman said that Meghan would not be taking maternity leave because she wanted to prove herself through work. What kind of boneheaded statement is that? Who has a baby and thinks that it's bragging to say, I'm not going to take maternity leave? One of two things are at play here. Either you don't actually have kids, or you're just a bad mom. Because who has a baby and then says, oh, I could take maternity leave. I'm not going to, though, because I want to prove myself through work. Why don't you prove yourself as a mother and take care of the kid? It's like, it's one thing if you are just like, you can't take maternity leave because you've had a baby, but you got to keep on hustling because someone's got to put bread on the table. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you are more than capable. People want you to go and enjoy these first several weeks with your baby. You've got maternity leave that you are more than welcome to take. They'll probably give you extra if you wanted it. And she says, oh, no, actually, I'm not going to. I'm going to prove myself through work. But then go on to do no work. Other than one engagement to promote SmartWorks, she undertook no public work that summer. She watched polo and tennis matches. She repeatedly flew on private jets for holiday trips with Harry and Archie. They stayed at Elton John's in St. Tropez, the Clooney's in Como, in a friend's 7-bedroom villa, advertised at £100,000 per week. For Meghan, it seemed taking private jets was like ordering an Uber. Oh, but she's not going to take maternity leave. Oh, no. There's just too much to get done in the world for work and for the good of the globe. Please, Meghan, shove it. Inevitably, her critics, especially the Sun newspaper, objected. The couple want all the pluses and none of the minuses of royal life. They have imploded into an unhappy mess of self-pity and perceived victimhood, utterly disconnected from the much greater stresses ordinary people often endure. Well, the Sun said it all. I mean, that's all we need to hear. That's exactly what's happening here. To silence the calls of hypocrisy, Meghan's publicist once again contacted her friends. Who are these friends that she still has? I mean, the clingers on? I wouldn't call those people friends. The result was a synchronized chorus of support. Elton John comes crawling out, and of course I think he only did it because Harry is the son of Diana. He says, I'm calling on the press, said Elton John, to cease these relentless and untrue assassinations on their character that are spuriously crafted on an almost daily basis. Elton John had had his own problems with the press, so he might have wanted, he was able to come out and say some things, probably thinking about his own situation more than he was thinking about theirs. But Jessica Mulrooney comes out and posts this on Instagram. Shame on you, you racist bullies! 3 years of undeserved hate and abuse. It's enough! And it's almost like, okay, what, Jessica? Did you just type that half asleep for all the effort you put into it? I mean, what? The actress Jamila Jamil justified the private jets as protection from the public. She said that it's not safe for us to be on the same planes. They are prime targets for kidnap and sometimes assassination. Get the F out of here with this, okay, you guys and your stupid private protection. So why is it that William and Catherine can take their kids on low-budget plane rides all over the place, and you guys are somehow some super high target for offense? Harry defied their critics. In early August, he traveled by private jet and helicopter to the Google camp in Sicily to speak about the climate change crisis. Oh, you guys, it's always so gross when the people get together. All the elites of the world get together with their private jets and their super yachts, and they come to talk to us about how we need to care about the planet. It's like they're mocking us. It's like they're rubbing our face in their privilege and being like, well, we can. But you sad sex better go over there and eat some bugs. I just can't with these people. Free from the constraints of palace etiquette, Harry tasted a movie star's freedom alongside Leonardo DiCaprio, Tom Cruise, Orlando Bloom, and singer-songwriter Harry Styles. What are all these people doing talking about climate change? What about their lifestyle has ever given us the idea that they care one whit about it? Do they think that we're over there just, in our dimly lit homes, turning on our little TVs and being like, what do they want us to do next? What should we do? I don't know which way to turn unless Orlando Bloom tells me how I should feel about the planet. As royals, both he and Meghan felt entitled to use their status to lecture others. Harry wrote at the same time on the Sussexes' Instagram page, "Every choice, every footprint, every action makes a difference." Oh, does it? So is that why you can't stop getting on those private jets? I mean, how can you tell me that every action makes a difference? And then be like, but where's the private jet? I'm not going on commercial. You're crazy. Like his hosts, Harry justified his use of private jets to protect his family from these people. Although he could never identify who these people are or what the never-ending threat is that he keeps talking about. These people. I mean, it's a never-ending threat. Every time I turn around, I mean, someone's after me. But who are these shadowy, nebulous individuals crouching behind every tree and bush to take you down? Like, give me one instance when that's actually happened, and I would side with you. If you could tell me one time when you were beaten in the streets by some hooligan just waiting to rip your face off, then we could all be like, well, yeah, he does have a point. Remember the hooligan that got him? But all the rest of it, I mean, it's like you don't have any leg to stand on here. There was a new arrogance to Harry's preaching. He resented scrutiny of his behavior. Soon after his visit to Sicily, he staged a press conference in Amsterdam to promote his new online eco-travel campaign, Travelist. And he was outraged that his audience asked him to justify his use of private jets. Did he never expect anybody would ask him this question? See, this is when he should have been using all of that help from the palace. Because the palace could have sat him down and been like, okay, you've been on a lot of those private jets, okay? And people are going to start asking, how come you can and they can't? So this is the answer you give, right? If he'd had any kind of self-awareness, he would have realized that his hypocrisy was going to get called out eventually. And he would have planned to have an answer. But no, he just decides to be angry about it. So his outraged reply when they asked him about his private jets was to claim that 99% of his flights were commercial. And he was visibly annoyed that his answers were being scrutinized. And hovering in the background was this Sunshine Sachs executive who kept telling him, just be evasive. You don't have to get into it. Just be evasive. You don't have to say anything. Yeah, you do, though, because you keep telling me that I got to mind my P's and Q's and make sure that I'm not taking one step out of line or the sky's going to fall. But you're over here zipping back and forth all over the globe on a private jet? Yeah, you got to explain how that makes sense. He, again, kept saying, I'm only doing it for privacy. It's the privacy of my family. I have to take a private... You don't think I want to live like this? I mean, every time I'm on a private jet, I'm so worried that I'm going to start a tsunami or something that's going to take the world out. But he's over here saying that 99% of his flights are commercial, right? He's just talking out of his ass because in reality, 60% of his flights were private. Okay, so either he just totally can't do math or he doesn't care about the truth. I think we can assume both. But, I mean, look at him just 99% of my flights. You think we can't look this up? These two are living in a ridiculous reality where nothing matters except for the moment in time that they're living in. There's never going to be anything that comes back to haunt them. So he says, 99% of my flights are commercial. And then when everyone's like, that's crazy because every time we see you get on a plane, it's not on a commercial flight. So then he tries to cover himself by saying, no one's perfect. And besides that, I plant trees to offset my carbon footprint. So if I get on a jet, doesn't matter because I'm going to go plant a tree. All right? So why don't you just get off my back? And then people were like, okay, yeah, but how many trees, right? Like, you say that, but, like, how does that work? You get on a plane and get off and plant a tree? Like, what's your system here? They keep pushing him, and he's flabbergasted that anybody's bothering him about this. So as they continue to ask him, he's starting to feel persecuted, so he falls back on that same old lie of his. Well, I have to do it, because if I don't, someone's going to come and gun down me and my family. Is that what you want? So here I am, trying to protect me and mine, and you just want to come after me all the time. That's how you all are anyway. You're always trying to come after me. You're always trying to make my life terrible. It's always been this way, and if I'm not careful, I'm going to find myself inside of a tunnel, dead on the side of the road. But what was clear is, from this entire back and forth exchange, was that Harry felt that he was being persecuted, and persecuted because everything he said was the truth, his truth. Didn't matter if there was contradictory narratives running. It didn't matter if getting into a private jet completely offsets the fact that he says that every little thing you do is going to have ramifications for the climate. so long as it was words coming out of his mouth in that moment, that was the truth. This is the way. Walk ye in it. Don't even bother to question me. If you question me, you're persecuting me. It's completely and totally. I mean, this is some 8th grade behavior right here. Meanwhile, the Cambridges see a opportunity to retaliate. So they decided to summon the media to film them flying on a low-budget airline from Norwich to Aberdeen for the summer holidays in Balmoral. Well, then Meghan, like this is going to be some big punishment, comes out swinging and says, oh yeah? Well, if that's how you want to be, then we're not even going to go to Balmoral and spend the holidays with you. Thank you, Meghan. We are actually going to have a great time now. Oh, you must love us after all. Thank you for sparing us from your presence. Meghan said that they weren't going to follow the Cambridges to Balmoral, and the reason being was because Archie was only 3 months old and couldn't fly. Which is why 2 seconds later she got on a plane and went to Ibiza. She continued to fly, although she did choose to fly commercial to New York to watch Serena Williams play in the final U.S. Open. So flying wasn't an issue for Archie, except for if he was going to Balmoral. Then suddenly the airlines were unsafe for a 3-month-old. Days later, Meghan and Harry flew by private jet to Misha Nonu's wedding in Rome. Nonu's second husband, Mike Hess, was the son of an oil billionaire. Just the type Meghan enjoyed meeting, and the sort that Nonu admired. And that's the end of the chapter. Can you even? Every single page of this chapter, I mean, juicy, juicy, juicy behavior from the Sussexes. And the sort of thing that we've come to know them for, I mean, greedy, conniving, transactional, just yuck when it comes to the people that they are. But, I mean, the fact that they are just not even trying to hide it anymore, that they would go to a very public event like the Lion King premiere and in the receiving line be trying to cut deals. It's like, you guys need to figure out when and where to be so weird, right? Because, like, your constant need to pitch, it's getting old and it's getting gross. But to do it at a receiving line, you're here to see and promote these people. You're here in celebration of what these people have accomplished. This isn't where you get to go and be like, we're here for the pitch. She's got some great voiceovers. She's a great voice actress. You don't know that, really? It's just like, oh my gosh. You guys are so embarrassing. It's so humiliating watching them. And they have no clue. They have no clue that we're all laughing at them.